Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the On the Go Show with Jacob and James. Let's get up and boogie to the beat of the On the Go Show. Don't be lazy, come on and get up, get down. Let the fun take over your body. Dance to the rhythm of that funky beat.
All right, welcome into the show. James, how are you doing?
I'm good. I was looking up airplane tickets because I'm supposed to be going to see my son pretty soon. So I'm looking at how cheap they are, and the suits I'm pushing on fly Spirit. The Spirit is a whole lot better.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a lot better. This is a lot cheaper. I only got to sit in the air for five to 6 hours. I'll take it.
You know, you bring up airlines, and it reminded me a couple weeks ago. Did you see Southwest is now going to start charging people to check bags?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so they did it for free, and now they're upping it to like $35 a bag or something like that.
Yeah, see, I don't got one about that Spirit.
Yeah, a lot of people's response were like, well, I guess we're just going to go with Spirit then, because Southwest was good because they didn't check bags. And then also people like Southwest because apparently like you didn't have to like pick a seat to sit in, which I don't know. I don't mind like having to pick a seat. I like knowing where I'm going to sit. So these free range airplane riders are a little confusing to me, but that was the big two controversies that Southwest like changed was like, we're going to have you pick your seats and we're going to charge you for a bag.
Yeah. Like I was saying, Spirit, they already they only charge you for one bag. All of us included. It's a round trip fare. That's why I like Spirit. I mean, I know everybody doesn't like it because ghetto and Walmart in the sky, but it gets me where I need to go.
But don't they add like a bunch of fees and stuff on top of the ticket?
No.
I always hear that too. Is like
No.
They add a bunch of fees. Like it's a cheap ticket, but then it's like when you get down to it, like they add things here or there. It kind of like nickel and dimes you.
No, they don't. Trust me. I've been doing Spirit for a long time.
All right.
We both been doing Spirit. Me and my ex have been doing Spirit for years.
Okay.
But now we upgrade a little bit, but we do Spirit all the time. It's cheaper and it gets you to where you need to go. 5 or 6 hours. Like obviously I wouldn't do Spirit if I was taking an 8-hour ride.
Right.
But it's a 5 or 6 hour ride from here to Detroit. And it's like what $98? You got one for $98 and then you want one for $100. Come on, man. Can't beat that.
When are you planning on taking this trip?
Probably like in late July. I'll probably like late July into August or early August. And then on top of that, what you call it? What was I about to say? I lost my train of thought.
Oh, you're good. Take your time.
But yeah, it's a cheaper destination. Like to go to LA is like $98, and that's during the summertime. And if I flew Delta or Southwest, you know how much money it cost? $398.
$398.
Yeah,
Wild.
you kidding me? For Delta and South by Southwest, like it's except for Southwest and both of them, and it would have been like $400.
It kind of makes me wonder, like, how do they determine the prices? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I know it's not by distance because if it was by distance, it's a 5-hour ride. From here to LA, it's a 5-hour ride.
Right.
From here to Michigan, it's a 6-hour ride, 7-hour ride. No, it's not 7 hours, but 6 hours. So, like I said, I only got to be in the air for 6 hours. I don't have to be as comfortable, just comfortable enough to get to where I need to get to.
That's not bad. It makes sense.
Food. Yeah, it makes sense. Like if I was like,
you gotta do.
Yeah, like obviously if I was doing it, if I was going somewhere special, then yeah, I probably would do like Delta or South by Southwest. But I mean, no, I'm not doing it. I don't see how people you spend money like that go on these flights unless it's like business trips.
Right. You know, business trips. Your company pays for it and whatnot.
Yeah, like was that like when Khadija had went on her business trip.
Yeah, or like just traveling for work and stuff. Yeah. So a nonstop flight from San Antonio Airport to LAX with Southwest is $261.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's nonstop. With stops.
Come on.
With stops, it's $359.
Come on, man.
Which is weird because you think nonstop would be more expensive.
Come on, and Google now. If I tell you to do Spirit, then you're gonna probably look and see it's gonna probably cost more because the holidays, the summertime holidays.
Well, let's look.
Yeah, let's look.
All right, so I'm gonna do. Where are you flying out of? Hobby or Bush?
I always fly out of Bush. Bush in the combo.
Bush is the better one. The Hobby is a scary airport. It's not in a good area.
I never been to Hobby. I passed by Hobby Airport, but I never been by it.
I've been in Hobby a couple times. I mean, the airport's nice. It's just like getting to the airport. You're like, this is where the airport's at?
I know it was like dark.
Yeah. All right, Detroit, Michigan, Houston. You said end of July?
Yep.
Oh, so I'm not gonna put your dates out there like that. I'm just gonna say from like Friday to Thursday.
So it's gonna be like a week.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Friday to Thursday, something like that. But end of July is when I put it. Oh yeah, I'm looking at $71.
Come on, man.
Dang. To see
$71 versus the price that was probably $300.
Yeah. And with that, you get a personal item. I think you just bring a personal item. It says,
and that's all. And I always bring my backpack.
Mm-hmm. You can add a carry-on for a little extra money. It seems.
Yeah.
But they have like go comfy and go big. So I don't really know the differences or. Okay, go comfy is 136, which still isn't that bad.
Still not bad.
Yeah.
Still not bad. 136, still not bad.
You're right. We learned a lesson in airlines today. Spirit's not just the Walmart of the sky.
I mean, I've never had any problems flying Spirit. I've never seen any of the internet videos that go around. I don't know about you. Well, of course you have, because you never did Spirit.
But I
But
don't think I've seen any like videos on Spirit. I've just seen people talking about Spirit. You know what I mean? So
I've seen videos on it. People acting a fool in the airport, and it's always under the Spirit banner.
well, it's not just Spirit either. Like lately, it's been like all of them, right? Southwest,
It's all of them now.
Delta's had issues. Since like the pandemic, a lot of people forgot how to act on planes apparently because there's been an uptick on behaving badly on airplanes.
And it's gonna be even worse for the 4th of July.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially in this day and age with everything else going on in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be even rough. So yeah, if I want to fly from Houston to San Antonio, that's a cheap flight too.
Yeah. How long of a flight would that be?
Let's find out.
Houston to San Antonio.
At least a 2-hour ride. That's a 2-hour ride.
It's gotta be faster to drive, right? At that point.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah. I've seen people fly now to Dallas.
People do it, but again, it's a business thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen people fly out of Houston to Dallas. Reason why I asked them, like, what if you didn't feel like driving? And you like, hey, James, you just fly.
Yeah, just fly over here.
Yeah, fly over here. I'm like, okay, cool.
You know, I like the San Antonio airport because it's like in the middle of the city. Like,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, we pass by it all the time. It's very easy to get to versus Houston, where Bush is on one side and Hobby's on the other.
Is it far from you?
No, not at all. It's like 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. So all you gotta do is pick me up from there.
Yeah, literally. Like it's not very far at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You just have to pick me up from there.
So I'm doing the reverse. I'm doing from San Antonio to Houston, which it should be about the same amount of time anyway. Okay, let's just give it a weekend, right? So I'm looking at what the hell? Okay, $603, James. I don't know what's happening here.
That's probably because it's 4th of July.
June 20th to June 22nd.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, all prices are expensive right now. All prices. That's why I said, that's why I'm going in, because even Spirit is expensive. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's say end of July. No. $113.
Yeah. See?
Okay.
So,
yeah.
hmm
Still not bad. To go 2 hours in the sky when you could drive 3 hours. If you're able to do that.
Yeah. Just if you just wanted to do it.
Right.
And what I like about Bush, they got better restaurants now than they had before, because now they got and Chili's is gone. They don't have Chili's in there no more.
Oh yeah, that's right. I heard about that.
Yeah, the Chili's is gone. I don't know if you've been Bush before you left Houston. I don't know how many times.
I haven't been there in a
Cause
while.
you doing a hobby. Oh, okay, you guys be doing a hobby.
Well, we did Bush quite a bit, but let's see. The last time we flew out, I think we did do Hobby.
For your honeymoon, then you guys fly out of Hobby, huh?
We did Bush. We did Bush
Oh, you
for
did
the
Bush.
honeymoon. But the last time we took a trip before we left Houston, I think we did Hobby. I think. Hobby's smaller, so it's a little bit easier to get into. Like, Bush had a lot of construction going on.
Yeah, you still do.
Yeah. So
I actually got a story about Bush too. I was going to, you know, the little shuttle. You have to, not shuttle, but the little to get to the elevators.
yeah, it's
the
like
little
a train thing, right?
yeah, the little train that comes around. Yeah. So I was going to hurry up to catch that train, and I saw a man jump that hopped the that hopped the little road,
Oh yeah.
and he almost got hit by the train.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because you know the train don't stop. It doesn't stop until it actually gets to the elevators. So it's like because it's automatic. So there is no person that's in there. So it was a guy that was walking along that edge and fell and almost got killed.
Oh wow.
And he heard been jumped over. He heard been jumped over back over. I said, "What the hell you doing? Walking on the edge for?" Well, you would think a camera would have stopped him. Well, you would think the cameras or somebody on the intercom would tell him to get off.
I don't know. How often are they really watching the thing? You know, the FFA is like short staffed.
If they would have saw it, they could have easily just stopped it and said, "Hey, could you get up? Could you get off that edge?" And this is way back in. This is not too far back. This had to be like 2024,
Okay.
2023 when I saw it happen.
A couple years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, it was a couple years ago. So I saw him when he was along the edge of the airport, the airport railroad, and I was like, "Oh man, he almost got hit." So he was just walking along the edge like a jackass.
Well, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right?
Man almost lost his life.
It's probably happened before. I'm pretty sure there's been a story or two about like someone getting run over.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure not because there's no person. Like I say, there's no person driving in those trains next to the elevator. They just let you off right next to the elevator.
Yeah, that's true. I do remember those.
Mm-hmm. Because you have to catch those to get to level A, level B, and level C to get to the airport.
Right. Yeah.
To get to your destination and go through TSA.
He's just walking on the edge.
Yeah, which I'm scared for this TSA thing. I'm trying to see what's going on with that because I know you gotta have like a real ID, but I think the real ID is for when you're going out of you're going out the country.
Yeah, they changed the ID thing. You don't have the gold star?
What's the gold star?
That's the real ID now. They changed it to where like your ID needs a gold star in the corner or something. When was the last time you had your ID updated? Like when it expired and they sent you a new one?
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute?
Yeah.
I think mine expired like last year, and so they sent me a new one. So mine has the gold star in the corner. It's like a gold star and the Texas symbol.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm about to get that then.
Yeah. You might want to get that checked out. And I think if you don't have it, there's like a couple of workarounds.
They say you can use your passport.
Yeah, you can use your passport and such. So, I mean, I would just, go online, look up the exemptions or the exceptions or, what you need to get done. You have enough time. You could probably, I think you can submit it online. You can probably just like submit for a new ID online or something.
Yeah, because it's like towards the end of July. So I got time to get it done.
Yeah, mid-June. Yeah. But you want to do it soon though.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I want to hurry and get that done.
The government doesn't move fast. It moves at the speed.
I know.
Sure.
Yeah, you're right. No, I'm hurry to get it done.
True enough. So.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
I also saw Killer of Killers.
We already kind of talked about it last week, so give me like a 1 to 2 minute review.
I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. It kind of went back to the same stuff they kind of did in the original.
Mm-hmm.
I like the first two stories more than I like the last one. I didn't really have a connection with the last one. It was just a kid in the air being a douchebag the entire time.
You know what? I think I like the other two more. I like the Predator in the third story a lot more. Like the design of the Predator. I
did like that.
Yeah.
I did like that.
Yeah.
But all in all, I thought it was fine. The artwork was kind of choppy in some points, but I kind of have to remember this is a Hulu movie.
It's Hulu.
Yeah.
And they're trying to repeat the Spider-Verse style. That's a big style nowadays, right? That weird, that choppy animated animation.
And TMNT kind of had a little hints of TMNT in there too.
Yeah. You're right. You're very correct on that.
The recent TMNT.
Yeah.
So it was fine. I liked it.
All right.
I give it about a 6 out of 10.
All right. That's a fair review.
Yeah, I give it about 6 out of 10.
Fair. And you're right. It doesn't do a whole lot different than other Predators. It's just, it just added some little bit of lore in there Not even really lore, like an addition, I guess. It's just like they kind of expanded upon some things. I wouldn't even call it like new lore, right? I would just be like, okay, they just expanded upon something.
And the ending was, and like I say, the ending, even though you spoiled it for me, and I told you to.
Yeah.
But it was fine. I liked it.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what Badlands turns out to be.
Hopefully, I think Badlands is probably better than this.
It's a theatrical release, right? So it's going to have a bigger budget than this one and Prey, I assume, because it's theatrical.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited to watch it. I think whatever direction the Predator franchise is kind of going in is a good direction. I will say there was an article that I had read briefly where the director of Badlands and Prey said he kind of rushed through making the Killer of Killers and Badlands because he did them at the same time. He did Killer of Killers and Badlands at the same time, and he said he kind of rushed through it because there's a third movie he's working on, and he's more excited about that.
That would explain a lot.
Yeah, that phrasing concerns me because he said he did Badlands and Killer of Killers at the same time. He's like, well, animations, it doesn't require as much attention as Badlands did. And so, maybe that does reflect in that choppy animation you brought up. So, I don't know. I'm kind of concerned. That's the only part that concerns me about Badlands. It's like, all right, well, you say you rushed to the project. So, when the movie comes out, we'll see if it shows.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be as good as Prey was. I love Prey.
Prey was very good. Yeah. Again, good direction. I think the guy behind it should really look up his name. Dan Trachtenberg. That's his name.
Oh, okay.
Dan Trachtenberg. So far, he's done good with the last two movies. Hopefully, Badlands is great, and that third project. Hopefully, that's really good too. So,
yeah,
that's we can put a stamp on the Predator reviews.
Also, too, Comicpalooza this weekend.
Yeah, Comicpalooza. Yeah, I think Joel's going to that.
Oh, he's going. I mean, yeah. I say, great. I was like, oh man,
Are you going?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So here's the thing. I was talking to Joel yesterday, right? So this weekend is Comicpalooza. Last weekend was like some kind of Japanese convention, right?
Yeah, it was.
Joel goes. He invited me. I ended up not going.
Why didn't go?
I just didn't want to make the trek. And also money-wise, I was like, you know what?
Oh, yeah. I forgot you told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
I was like, I'd rather just save my money, blah, blah, blah. So Joel goes, and I called him up yesterday, and I asked him, like, hey, how'd the thing go, right? Like, how was it? And he's like, kind of halfway complaining about it, because he's like, oh, it wasn't really that impressive, but he's like, they had sumo wrestling, and they had like some judo stuff, and they had some other things, but otherwise, it was still a normal convention. And he's like going on about this. And I finally just brought it up to him. I was like, you know what? Maybe you're just tired of going to conventions.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Yeah, exactly. They're all kind of the same. They all have the same like sort of booths and stuff. Like once you can only see so many pictures of Pikachu dressed up as Deadpool. You know what I mean? You can only see so many cosplays. You can only do so much. And finally I was just like, yeah, dude, I think you're just growing out of these things. I think because every time you go, you have like some kind of complaint or it's always the same complaint. It's like, maybe just stop going. Just stop going for a while. Like, you don't have to.
I'll take a year off. Take a year off from going.
Right, yeah. Like, go every other year, or go every other couple of years or whatever. Or like, and I mean, also, like, Joel doesn't really, I mean, he kind of cosplays, but he doesn't cosplay, right? He's not, like, making his own costumes or whatever. He just kind of dresses up. Cosplayers, I get the appeal, right? Because, like, if you spend, like, 3 months making your costume, you're gonna go so you can show it off, and then it's a whole different experience, right? You're talking to other cosplayers, like you're mingling and all this stuff. Joel does like some art stuff, so he likes to go and talk to the people with the booths, and he's
that's understandable. Right. Yeah, I get that part.
Right, and so I think that's kind of where he gets like the pleasure from it. Pleasure is a weird word in this explanation, but that's kind of where he gets the joy of it. Right. But also, like, you can go to any other kind of art thing and talk to people with booths. Like, conventions aren't the only places with, like, these booths,
Or how about he set up a booth himself?
Well, that's what I'm trying to get him to do. And the thing is, I don't want to complain about it too much on the show, but
he's fine. He's fine. Let's keep it going.
But the thing is, how do I put this? He's not a planner. He doesn't, like, sit down and plan things out. very much. Like, what he'll do is just like, oh, I heard there's a con this weekend, so I looked to see how much it was to rent a booth, and it's like $300. I was like, yeah, it's $300 because you should have been looking into like what's coming through town, like what's coming through. Like you got to book these things like way early. That way you already got your spot. Or even like smaller festivals, like smaller art festivals in like smaller towns in the area. I was like, that's really what you should be looking into is like what's coming through in these spaces. I told them like San Antonio, the Riverwalk, every month they do like an art thing. I was like, go look at that. Go look into getting a booth over there, like down to the Riverwalk. You know, it's like if you're really serious about selling these pieces, you kind of have to plan it out. And Joel's got some other things going on. He's doing schooling and
he's doing school. I know. Yeah. So, I forgot about that too.
Yeah. So I know it's not like immediately like top of mind, like high priority stuff, but then
still not an excuse.
Still not an excuse, right? I mean, you can still kind of plan this out a little bit. Like you don't like stop doing like last minute, like, oh, I looked the week before and it's like super expensive to rent something. It's like, well, yeah, you looked the week before.
It's gonna be expensive.
Yeah. So
it's worth the investment if you're trying to really put yourself out there.
Right.
You're gonna be like Michael Scott and have an empty booth, but still.
Right. But I say all that to say, yeah, he's gonna be there this weekend after already going to the Japanese thing last weekend. So you might see him.
Is he taking his son?
Yeah, I think so. He brought his son last week, so he might be taking his son with him this week too, as well. So,
I mean, Comicpalooza I get because there's a whole bunch of other stuff there and just
Well, it's funny because he was telling me like they saw sumo wrestling because they had sumo wrestling there, and his son was apparently like really into the sumo wrestling. Like his son remembered the sumo wrestler's name. So I don't know, like he was talking to somebody he had his kid with him, right? And they were like, oh yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I went to the Japanese thing. And they were like, oh, did you have fun? And the kid goes, yeah, we saw Jackie or whatever the sumo wrestler's name is. And they're like, who's that? I was like, I don't remember. Stop telling people.
Like we just going around sounds all a butt naked sumo wrestler.
Yeah. But hey, maybe that's maybe that awakened some sort of weird passion for his
I
kid.
hope not.
Like he's gonna be a sumo wrestler when he grows up.
I hope not. Those guys eat a lot of food.
His son's gonna be like, I want to gain 400 pounds for my career. Push another man out of a circle. It's a culture thing. You don't understand.
No.
Has there ever been a white sumo wrestler? Actually,
I was about to say I have. Yeah, I've never seen a white sumo wrestler before. I don't think it's a black sumo wrestler.
We're about to learn some stuff today, James. All right. Yes, there has been white sumo wrestlers. While sumo is deeply rooted in Japanese tradition, it is opened up to foreign-born wrestlers, and some have achieved significant success. Several wrestlers of European and American descent have reached the top ranks of professional sumo. There we go. The white man just colonizing.
But you didn't say black sumo wrestler, so there ain't no black sumo wrestler.
Hang on. Let me switch the word. Black sumo wrestler. Yes, there has been black sumo wrestlers. A notable example is Japanese name Kentaro, an Egyptian wrestler who debuted in 2013 and rose to the top division. Additionally, there have been other black wrestlers, including those of mixed heritage, who have competed in sumo.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I get the appeal to a little kid because all you're doing is pushing. You're not really wrestling. You're just pushing each other, and one person has to fall out the circle.
Yeah,
it's my strength versus your strength.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I get the appeal for now.
Right. I mean, the kid's gonna grow out of it, right? He's not really gonna be.
He's growing out of it.
He's not really gonna be. He's gonna forget about it next week. But it was just it was just a funny piece of the story where it's like, yeah, that's the one part my kid really enjoyed was sumo wrestling.
Yeah, he's growing out of it. I can almost promise you that.
Yeah.
Because I want to be a monster truck driver. Are you kidding me?
That could still be a fun job. What are you talking about?
No, it's not.
Crush cars all day?
You know people die from those, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And the trucks suck. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Monster Jam was so much more fun as a kid. And then when you go as an adult, like 2 or 3 of the trucks just break automatically. And you're like, oh, it's not as fun.
Just like the toys themselves.
Yeah, they do some bunny hops over a hill. And then all of a sudden the tire snaps off and they're done for like 30 minutes.
Have you ever been to one?
Monster
as an adult?
Yeah. We've been a couple times.
Oh, you took Khadija to that?
Yeah. She enjoys monster trucks.
She enjoys monster trucks?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shocker.
Yeah, Khadija is I don't know, she's got a wider range of interests.
I never knew that because my truck driving is like so noisy. That's why. So I never knew she was with that.
No, yeah, she likes them. She enjoys them.
Did you bring earplugs?
You know what? No, I don't think I had the earplugs at the time. One time,
I'll tell you.
One time I went and we bought the earphones. Like I actually bought like the Monster Jam like headphones, and then I lost them. And then the other time I went, like I didn't have any, but they weren't that loud at the time, but that might have just been hearing loss.
Well, I said you are the most unprepared man I've ever seen in my life.
Well, now I'm prepared. Ever since that damn King David show.
That's what I was getting to. That's what I was getting to.
Billy Nelson. I've got 2 pairs of little like earplugs. So
make sure you bring 4. Make sure you bring 4 from now on.
Right? Seriously.
Yes.
Right?
And speaking to him, did he have you talked to
him? Not lately. I'm trying to get him to come on the show. I want to talk to him about his tour coming up, but he has not responded to my message. He's a busy man.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll definitely get around to you.
I'm sure he will. I'm gonna message him after the show and see if I can get him on next week or something.
You see him happy birthday?
No, I don't tell anybody happy birthday, James.
Oh, you don't?
No, so the story on this, right? Like back in the day, like, you know, Facebook, it notifies you when your friends have a birthday and then everybody goes to their page and like, happy birthday, right? So I used to try to keep up with that and then I missed a couple. And then after that, I was like, yeah, nobody gets a happy birthday. It's like,
so you just scroll past the person's name and don't tell them their birthday?
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody gets a happy birthday.
Why?
Equality. Just I don't, you know, I'll tell you happy birthday personally. Like if I see you or, you know, I made an AI song for you. I made a whole little song for you. You should feel special. But
all right. Hey, I guess.
I told Richard happy birthday one time. He was like, it's 2 days from now. I had the day wrong. So I looked like a fool.
That's about right.
Yeah.
That's about right. So that's your origins of not saying tell people happy birthday.
That's what I mean. Like nobody gets it. Nobody gets.
So you don't say happy. So do you tell your own wife happy birthday?
Yeah, of course I do. It's like,
okay.
In the online space, like I don't take the time out to like message people too much about like their birthdays. If I see them personally, I'll like, yeah, hey, happy birthday or whatever, right?
So. Hey, I learned a lot. I learned a lot.
Yeah, exactly. You got a happy birthday. That's all you need to know, James. You got the happy birthday. So there you go.
Did Joel tell you happy birthday?
He tells me he never gets it right. He always forgets when my birthday is. So he'll tell me like either 2 days before, 2 days after, or like a month later or whatever. He always gets it wrong. Because I was giving him crap about always getting it wrong. He's like, oh, like, you know my birthday. And then I like spout it like this day, this year, this time. Give him the whole.
I'm start getting y'all a calendar, man.
Huh?
I'm start getting y'all a calendar.
Yeah, he needs the calendar more than I do.
Well, probably so.
Right?
Yeah, probably so.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I'm gonna get him a calendar and a book of knowledge.
Book of knowledge.
Yeah. Remember was that Rocko's Modern Life? The intro? They filled him up in a book of knowledge and kicked him on his way.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Send him on his way. That's exactly what we're gonna do to Joel. We're gonna send him on his way to set up his booth.
Yeah.
Set him on his booth.
Something like that. You need to get him something.
We're gonna make a booth. We gotta draw it out for him.
Yeah.
On the Gold Podcast with Jacob and James. It's freaking rad, brother. Rad.
Speaking of that, I was digging up while you were telling me about Joel. I was digging up the articles and stuff. James Gunn and Rolling Stone stuff, so we can talk about because he had a lot of noteworthy stuff. He talked about the Batman, talked about Superman a little bit more.
I did want to talk to you about his comments on the Batman, but continue.
Yeah, well, yeah, but we have to dive in just a second because he talked about a lot of stuff. The marketing has been great for Superman, by the way.
Very good.
I really enjoyed it.
Very good.
I wish Fantastic Four would catch up, but yeah.
Funny you mentioned that. I saw an article yesterday They partnered with Little Caesars to do a Fantastic Four pizza.
Oh, cool.
It's like a pizza pie, but like two slices. Every two slices is like a different thing. So you got a cheese pizza for Invisible Woman.
Okay.
You got like a sausage pizza for the Thing.
Oh, wow.
I think
okay.
you got like a spicy pepperoni for Johnny Storm. And then I think you just have like
basic ass pizza.
Yeah, regular pepperoni for
Yep.
for Mr. Fantastic.
I should already know.
Yeah, but they partner with Little Caesars for it, which I find hilarious because like Little Caesars out of all pizza places.
Yeah, Little Caesars is popular. Little Caesars is very popular nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. They got the pizza portal, and then apparently they're doing like some kind of blue milk. They got some, which I don't know. That's weird because like that's a Star Wars thing. I don't know where the blue milk comes in, but
Probably like some dye, but it probably got some dye in there.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, it's just like a weird like thing. But anyway, go. Let's continue to the James Gunn article.
No, I mean the marketing for Superman has been great. I've enjoyed everything. I'm not sure if you saw the Daily Planet. Jimmy Olsen it was like a little vignette. He introduced everybody to the Daily. Oh, that was so cool, man. I would like to see a TV show. If James Gunn, a TV show of just the Daily Planet, of everybody that casts, because he cast everybody that's in the Daily Planet from the comic books in the movie. So I'm like, I would like to see a show from this. The chemistry is so off the chart. Just like that little snippet of just seeing the chemistry between Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen. Because it's funny, he walks in Daily Planet. He's like, hey, welcome to the Daily Planet. I'm Jimmy Olsen. He said, yeah, Lois Lane. He's kind of like the boss of me. And she kind of talks down to me a lot sometimes. And then she passed by him. She's like, Jimmy, why you just standing there? Said, like the whole time she's on his ass the entire time. And she says, then he's like, yeah, I know Clark. He leaves out a lot. He leaves out a lot. And he also like when Lois calls his name, he kind of skips, kind of walks when he kind of skips when he walks. So that's got that. Then they said, what's that picture on your table, on your desk there? And it's him with two women. So that was cool, man. I really, really like that.
Yeah. Well, it's more Jimmy Olsen than we got with Zack Snyder's stuff.
Oh, yeah, right. And he lives, right?
He's shot in the head in the first 10 minutes. And then you didn't know it was Jimmy Olsen? Like, they had to reveal that afterwards, or it's in the credits?
He seems to be like a ladies' man in this one. He's going to be more of a ladies' man.
All right.
Which I like that.
All right, Jimmy.
Yeah, I like that, man. That's unique stuff. But, we can get to the Batman. What did you want to talk about from that?
So he was talking about, he was talking about Batman's his biggest issue with the DCU because, you got Batman Brave and the Bold, and you got whatever Matt Reeves is trying to do. I don't know. But then I saw another article saying that like a DCU project just got canceled. And the article didn't really say which one it was, but I'm like, I wonder.
Probably Sergeant Rock.
Yeah, I think they did mention that one, but I thought we had known that it got canceled already.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was already. So unless it's like late reporting, I was like, man, I wonder if it's Batman Part 2.
No, because he said in the article, he said, Matt Reeves is slow. He's taking his time, and it's gonna come. It's gonna come. I took away from that whole article from what he was saying was basically he doesn't want to make a Batman movie just for the sake of making a Batman film. Because Batman has to fit in the universe. That's what he said verbatimly in the article. He was like, I want to make sure Batman's been done so many times. We've had so many iterations of this version of Batman. So it's like, why does this Batman exist? What's his motivation for existing in the current DCU?
Right. And with how he's like been approaching this is like everything has to be succinct and kind of fit, and he's got a very specific vision. And honestly, not even like, I wouldn't say he has like a plan per se. It's more or less like what, he said, if the script works, then we're greenlighting it, right? Which means if you come up with a good script, we'll do the movie. So I don't think he has like a real concrete, like we have to go from point A to point B to point C. Like we're going to do 5 movies and then Infinite Crisis or whatever. I think it's just like, if you present a good script, we'll greenlight the movie and we'll make it work in this universe. But he's also being very like selective, I think, about how he approaches it.
Well, I mean, this whole phase is God's monsters, and we're seeing a lot of the monsters, the Creature Commandos, Clayface movie, and then you got what's the name, Mr. Miracle animated series that's coming out pretty soon. with Big Barda. Then you have the Green Lanterns, the Lantern series, and then of course Superman, and you have Supergirl as well.
And he's dropping the colon other name because apparently he doesn't like that. So now everything's going to be like a one word a name or a phrase instead of like Superman colon Man of Steel.
Which is fine because he said he doesn't like that. I never really liked that either. I never was a big fan of that. It's just da 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 da, because it's like if you call something Superman Legacy, well, why is it Superman Legacy?
Right.
Do I have to watch all the other Superman movies so I can get caught up with this one?
Right.
Like I don't really understand why you have to call it Legacies.
Right.
Woman of Tomorrow. Why would you call it Woman of Tomorrow when you have a Man of Tomorrow that already exists? So is Superman dead or what's the story on that? So no, I totally get that.
Yeah, I mean they're good working titles, right? Which is essentially what they kind of prove themselves to be. Is like we had to name it something, so we named it this, and then now it's about to come out. We're cutting it down to like Superman, Supergirl. Very simple titles to remember. You don't, you can fit it on a marquee pretty well without taking too much room. Or in the theaters, right? We have the electronic display or whatever. Instead of like a long title that gets cut off, and you're like, what movie's that? It could just be Superman, Supergirl.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Because when I say Superman, okay, it's Superman. Boom, there it is.
Yeah,
that's all you need to know. Supergirl, boom, that's all it is.
Yeah.
And, back to the Batman thing, he also said he doesn't want a campy Superman. He wants a serious Batman. And as far as the Matt Reeves deal, he said that he never ruled out the fact that, he wanted to use Robert Pattinson Batman. He doesn't see it happening, but he wouldn't mind, if it was to happen, hey, in my opinion, I think it would be so much easier to just use Robert Pattinson.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this 1,000 times. You don't want to confuse the fans, and you don't want to cause even more upheaval with the casuals and the fans. And that's my thing.
Yeah, it's also better than like spending time trying to find another Bruce Wayne actor, right? You don't have to go through the casting process. You already have your guy. Just put him in the movie, make it work, make it fit. I mean, between Metropolis and Gotham, it's night and day anyway. So like the tone of the Batman film and the tone of the Superman can still coexist, in the same universe. They don't have to be the same tone because you wouldn't get that. Batman's a very dark compared to Superman. So it still works. I don't know. This is like the King to Conquer situation where it's like, I don't know what the issue is here. But
the thing about it is, I get why people don't want to see Batman in this current iteration of DCU because you have such a grounded Batman.
Well, what did James Gunn also say? They're like, apparently in this continuity, like metahumans and superheroes have been around for like 300 something years. Like it's very commonplace. Like Superman's not the first. He's not the last. It's very commonplace to have metahumans around in this universe that they set up.
Which I do love, by the way. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
It kind of goes into my room of thought where I'm like, hey, stop doing origin stories. Anybody can look up 1,000 different YouTube channels to explain a superhero. Just put out the movie. Stop doing the origin film, or do like the exposition crawl, Star Wars crawl at the beginning of every one of these movies, where you're like, this person was bit by this, or this person got their powers by that, and they've been this hero for 5 years. Here's the movie. You know what I mean? Like a quick something at the beginning to set up like what you're about to see. Star Wars did it. I think other movies could do it. Just, do it in a clever way, of course. Don't.
At this point, if you don't know the origin of Batman, then you can go screw yourself.
Right. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. Like,
I'm not buying the fact that you don't know the origin of Batman. Oh, right. Well, I work every day and I do this. No, stop.
We don't need to be spoon-fed everything. You can just go into something blind and kind of put it together yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to. You don't have to feed these things to your audience. And then honestly, if someone walked into a Batman movie blind and it was like Dark Knight and not Batman Begins, right? For example, if you walk into Dark Knight blind, you're like, wow, that was a great movie, but I have no idea who this guy is. You're going to Google Batman. And then you're going to go down a rabbit hole of who Batman is, what Batman's been through. Like you're going to do the research yourself if you're that interested. You're not going to go in and be like, I didn't know who that guy is. That was a bad movie.
Oh, you're right. And I just think, at this point, I think what they're really, really waiting on is if Superman is a success, which I think it will be, if it is a success, they're going to make a decision on what they want to do with Batman.
Yeah.
I can say, I don't even care anymore. I just want them to make a decision. Are we going to use Robert Pattinson?
Right.
Are we not? If we're not going to use him, cool. Let's find the actor. Let's get it done. And you don't even have to tell us. You don't even have to tell us. You can wait till the Clayface movie comes out.
Right.
You can wait till the Clayface movie comes out, and then you can introduce him then.
Right.
If you want to do that.
At this point, you can cast Frank Grillo as Bruce Wayne. He's already like 7 other different characters apparently.
Yeah. Like you can do whatever you want to do. I don't even care.
Yeah.
And also to stay on this topic, they cast the lead role for Clayface. It's an unknown actor. I have never seen this actor a day in my life.
Which is good.
Handsome guy, which I think is a good idea.
Yeah.
Now, I would be a hypocrite, the biggest of the biggest hypocrite, if I was not questioning a little bit of why you're doing another villain origin film. Because if I could sit there and call out Sony for doing these stupid ass villain origin films, I can call out DCU.
That's true.
The only thing I will say, what can clean this up, because we've seen Clayface in Creature Commandos. I don't know if you've seen Creature Commandos.
I have, and I've seen Clayface in Creature Commandos.
Okay, so we've seen Creature Commando, and we've seen Batman in the universe too. It was only a silhouette. It was only like a silhouette. And the difference between those Sony movies, they couldn't use Spider-Man.
Or they didn't, or they chose not to.
Or they chose not to. With this, and then, with this here, is a little bit different because this is a straight villain. This is not going to be it's not going to be a superhero. He's not going to go in here being a superhero. This is straight villain time. If they introduce Batman, that would go a long way into everyone's mind. I know everyone's saying like, man, you're going to introduce Batman in the Clayface film? You don't even have to introduce him. You can show the bat symbol. You can show anything that relates to Batman to let us know that Batman is on the way. We just don't know how yet, but he's on the way.
I'll add to this and I'll say you can have Batman in the movie. You just don't have to show him as Bruce Wayne. You can just put a Batman in the movie and then cast somebody officially later if you wanted to do that.
No, I wouldn't risk that.
You wouldn't do that? You wouldn't go for that?
I would go and make the cast. I'll make that casting surprise during at the end, end credit scene or something like that. Even though I know it's not James Gunn's style. He's already said that he doesn't know, which I'm gonna get to that a little bit. Yeah, he said a lot in this stuff, man.
Or you can take Clayface out of Gotham and put him in a different city, right? Put him in a different setting. So you're like, oh, how are you gonna do a Clayface movie without Batman? Oh, Clayface isn't in Gotham, he's in Metropolis, or he's in Star City, or he's in wherever. Because where was he in Creature Commandos? He was just in some guy's house, right? He was working for somebody. So there you go. You've already kind of set that up with Creature Commandos. You can just be like, yeah, he broke out and now he's in Star City or whatever. Star City or wherever Green Arrow's from, like one of those fictional DC cities. Like he's doing dirt somewhere else. There you go.
No, I totally agree. That's what they should do, which I think that's probably what they will do. And maybe at the end he travels to Gotham. That's how he gets to Gotham.
Right. Or he gets sent back to Gotham. Like they catch him and they ship him off back to Arkham.
Something like that. Anything like that. I'm pretty sure James Gunn knows, and whoever's going to direct this film, he's seen Sony and the MCU and how this thing has to go, and things that he doesn't want to do. So, I'm really, really excited. Well, somewhat optimistic. I say optimistic. So next we can get into the part where he talks about Marvel trying to meet quotas, and that's where they kind of back themselves into a corner and mess themselves up, which I totally 110% agree. That's what they messed themselves up on. Trying to meet quotas and hey, we got to have this done by this deadline. Do whatever you need to do, but it needs to be done. Boom. And he's like, that's what messed up Marvel, and that's why I don't want to do this universe. If it's not good, and it goes right back to what you said. If it's not good, you're not green light.
Right. We're doing one project at a time. Or 2 projects at a time. We're not trying to juggle 6 properties, and we're not trying to puzzle piece all this together. We get the script, we're good. We move on to the next,
And that's how it should be, Jacob. I mean, why do we have to meet? And I don't understand. A lot of this was not. This is on the old regime of Marvel, and that's probably why. That's why these phases became so lopsided, because Bob Chapek Bob Chapek was the one that was putting all this shit out, and it was like, hey, we got to put this out immediately, now. Do it. You know, so that was a lot of his doing. You know what I'm saying?
Marvel's still trying to kind of pick up the pieces from that. So, and will they or won't they? I don't know. Is it too late? I don't think so. I think your franchise is as good as your last movie, and it's obviously been a roller coaster, right? Because like every other Marvel movie lately, it's been like Marvel's back, Marvel's dead, Marvel's back, Marvel's dead, Marvel's middling. I don't know, but they can make a comeback. They can easily make a comeback. It all depends. Fantastic Four, it could be it's still in the right direction. We haven't seen it yet. Doomsday could be a mess.
Well, I mean, yeah.
What's weird about Doomsday is like they pushed it back, right? They delayed it, which you called it. You called it a few months ago. You're like, I'm pretty sure this is getting delayed. And they did. They delayed it to December 2026. December is an interesting release date for an Avengers film. Because like not a lot of movies come out movies come out in December, but like not a lot of like blockbustery type movies come out in December.
Oh, I don't know about that one, Jake.
Yeah? You think I'm wrong on that one?
Yeah, you're kind of wrong on that one. Christmas time is definitely when you get the blockbusters coming out. Because
I would think like November.
Avatar comes out in December. So they're going to be competing with Avatar the same day. So yeah, this is a big film.
That's not really competing. They're the same company. Are we making money off the blue people, or are we making money off of superheroes? Either way, we're making money.
Yeah, but that's a very big deal, which I think is very stupid to have your movie come out the same days as Avatar, which I think is completely stupid. But we'll get to that in a minute. But when James Gunn said those things about that, I was like, he's totally 100% right. And because with Guardians of the Galaxy, I remember I read something where he was like, and this is when he started mulling over going to DC and going to Warner Brothers. He told Kevin Feige, I'm not using Thor in my next Guardians of the Galaxy film. I just want you to know that. Like, I understand what you guys did with the Avengers Endgame and Infinity War. That's great. Fantastic. Y'all made money. I'm not using Thor in my Guardians of the Galaxy film. You guys already pissed me over with Adam Warlock, which I called it, and I called it then, and I called it now. James Gunn had no plans on using Adam Warlock like this, like the way he used it. That was the most underutilized person I have ever seen in the MCU. I was like, Adam Warlock is pretty damn powerful. And to make him into like this bumbling mama's boy fool, I was like, this is not James Gunn's fault. And that's not me taking off of James Gunn because he had a lot to do with it. But at the same time, that's why he said he doesn't do end credit scenes like that anymore, because he doesn't want to do something to continue on with something else, because things might change. We might not get that film. So it's like, why do I want to back myself into a corner where, well, we saw it, so you got to do it. Like, no, I don't want to do that. So I thought that was pretty cool of him saying, like, I know, don't expect my end credit scenes to be anything like that.
Right.
You know, don't expect my end credit scenes to be anything. I respect that as well. So that was very, very eye-popping of him to say something about that. He also talked about the Snyder Cult. You got to talk about them. Because there was a petition online saying that they were going to boycott James Gunn's film. Well, I just think it's just so stupid for me. It's somebody they're going to boycott Superman. And there's a difference between Snyder Cult and the Snyder fan. Because you got two different fans. It's kind of like being a Trump fan and not being a conservative.
Being a Republican, yeah.
And being a Republican. And the Snyder Cult people they are a very small, minute group of people that live on the internet.
Yep.
And they want to make this movie as much hell as possible. But what they got to understand is it's not happening. It's just not happening. And they had to come in, the website that it was on, they had to come in and say, hey, you know, while we are Snyder fans, we don't condone, you know, this petition and stuff like that. So they shut it down. They shut it down real quick, which I think was really cool. They said it was bots. It was the bots that did that. The bots are the ones that was the cause of it.
To be honest, that wasn't going to go anywhere anyway.
No, we all know it wasn't.
I mean, what boycotting are they going to do? They're going to picket movie theaters? They're going to go outside? They're going to go outside and stand outside of a movie theater, hold up some signs?
You're going to stand outside.
What are they going to do?
Stand outside.
You know what I mean? They're not going to do that. That wasn't going to happen.
It's all a joke. They're jokes. They're weird people. They're very, very weird. We live in a cult mentality. You know, everything's a cult mentality now. So you got to look for these, so you got to look for this type of stuff to happen now. It's a very, very weird group of people, man. They're very, very weird. Also, before we get off the James Gunn thing, he also talked about Henry Cavill. Something else I already knew. This is something else I already knew, and I got no credit for it. These mofos, the old Warner Brothers regime, they screwed Henry Cavill over.
Yeah, of course they did.
Screwed this man over.
We knew this.
This man, they were out on Henry Cavill after Suicide Squad, man.
After Suicide, he wasn't in that movie.
They were done with him after the Suicide Squad movie in 2016.
The movie he wasn't in? The David Ayer Suicide Squad movie? Was he in that movie? Did he make a cameo? He didn't make a cameo, no.
Before James Gunn said reportedly, Henry Cavill was already done with playing Superman. And you know what? Fast track. It was Suicide Squad 2021. I'm sorry. Out of Suicide Squad 2021, they were already done with Henry Cavill. They were done with him. They had no plans for him to come back. Apparently, it was a rift between those guys, and that's why he didn't want to come back. And Warner Brothers got sick of him too.
It's because Henry Cavill is a huge, comic book video game nerd.
He is.
And so he was very adamant about wanting to do things certain ways. And for his credit, good. Because, right, you want to get the character right. You want to try to do it the best you can. And so, given pushback to the studio didn't like that, got rid of him. Same thing with Zack Snyder. They screw over Zack Snyder. They screwed over freaking Henry Cavill. It doesn't surprise me. The old DC used to be, here's a script, make it in 6 months. What? Green Lantern. That's how they did Green Lantern. Like with the Ryan Reynolds movie, they're like, oh yeah, here's a script. We need it done in 3 months or whatever. I think during production, they have the time on them. And that's why it came out the way it did. Was they didn't have the budget. They didn't have the time. There you go. That's what DC used to be like. And now, James Gunn has obviously taken over, so he's doing the whole regime change. He's changing up all that stuff. But it doesn't surprise me that, they screwed over Henry Cavill. They screwed over Zack Snyder.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a mess because it's at the same time, when they brought in The Rock, and I do believe if Black Adam if they would have scaled down that budget, because the budget was expensive, stupid expensive.
Because you had The Rock in there.
The budget for that movie was stupid expensive, and they did not make their money back at all. Had they went and made a film that was a smaller budget and scaled back that budget, and it would have made money, I think The Rock would have played a bigger role in DC. But I think we would have eventually ended up back to where we already are right now, with someone else new running the ship.
The problem is, too, you casted The Rock to be a villain, and then The Rock, obviously, he doesn't play villains anymore. So that didn't really work out. You had The Rock's ego in there. That movie wasn't terrible. The Justice Society was a nice introduction. Dr. Fate was cool, Hawkman was cool, all of them. It was really cool. It was a good fun movie. It's just the story was a little weird. And the story was weird because Black Adam in the film was not Black Adam.
No, it wasn't Black Adam that we know from the comic books. And it was something totally different because The Rock wanted to come in and change everything about it. And I thought it was the worst thing in the world. And,
I think The Rock was trying to become what James Gunn is now, right? I think The Rock came into it with that idea that hey, if we pull this off, I can be the DC guy. I'll bring my production company in this, and now this is my baby. And it didn't really work out because also at the time that movie came out, people were already starting to get tired of seeing The Rock and stuff.
Of course, yeah.
Because he's in every other movie that comes. Actually, he hasn't been in a lot of movies lately. I haven't noticed him come out. He's got the Smashing Machine coming out. That's really the most different thing he's done in a while. But beforehand, every other movie that he was in was just the same kind of cookie cutter Rock acting.
Yeah, Red One. I think Red One was the last movie he came out with.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah, Red One. Same Rock attitude. It was him and Chris Evans, which is a weird pairing.
Which did horrible, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It did bad. It flopped.
We would have eventually ended up back in the same spot anyway.
Right.
With Henry Cavill. And it sucks that Henry Cavill got screwed around, because people forget after Dawn of Justice, people were beating up on Henry Cavill hard. He caught a lot of bullets and a lot of knife shanks.
I think a lot of people caught a lot of flack for that movie.
Well, yeah, because people were saying like this is supposed to be Superman. Yeah, he may look the part, but he doesn't act like Superman.
Yeah.
And it was totally off the realm of what any Superman film we had ever seen. Like, if you didn't like Man of Steel, like Dawn of Justice, they doubled down on it. And, you know, it sucks that he never got a chance to do a proper Superman film, but I understand they had to do what they had to do. They had to let him go. They had to. It is James Gunn's vision. He has the right to choose his vision on how he perceives Superman to be and who the actor is that he wants to choose. And I understand that he had to do what he had to do. You know, it just sucks that Henry Cavill got screwed over like that. And, you know, ever since then, his career hasn't been the best.
Yeah, he's, you know, come to think of it, he's gotten kind of screwed over with other, like, roles he's tried to do, like The Witcher. Like, he was The Witcher for a little bit, but then, like, they backed off on that with him. They recasted him with somebody else, Mads Mikkelsen, I think. He's got a Voltron movie he's trying to get out. I don't know if he filmed it already or if he's trying to get it filmed.
It's filmed already. It's going to be on streaming, though.
Yeah, Amazon. But that was also a struggle to get through.
He thought it was going to be a theatrical film. Yeah. But I guess Amazon is like, we don't see it that way. We don't see it as being like a big time hit, which I don't know if it's going to be a hit or not. I'm not big on Voltron like that. Yeah,
Voltron's like an old property, so it is kind of like hard to say. You know, like I kind of understand that, but still, he's had problems with trying to get that out. Is my main point.
Yeah, so he's been kind of having some floppy films. Yeah, that horrible ass movie I hate. It was Sam Rockwell, and it was on my top 5 list of worst movie of the year. Argyle, yeah, he was barely in that. They pitched him and John Cena like these guys were in here for the whole entire damn movie, and wasn't even in there a little bit. So it was a mess, man. It was like he was in that movie that was supposed to be like Glorious Bastards.
Yeah. The Ungentlemanly Warfare, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't do good in the box office. This Highlander movie that still ain't got off the ground yet, which I don't think is going to happen. This Highlander movie that he's been trying to do, the Warhammer.
That's the other one, yeah.
You know, it's a whole bunch of stuff this guy been struggling. I don't know whether it's him. I don't know whether it's his attitude or what.
It could be his attitude. Maybe he does have a bad attitude about the way he approaches these things, right?
I know I've heard rumors about it, but I don't know if it's really true or not.
You can have like a lot of love and appreciation for the source material, and you can want to do it right. And I understand that, and I get that, and I completely appreciate that. But, you know, if you're not willing to like play nice in Hollywood, you are just an actor or an employee to them, right? Yeah. They'll can you and they'll get somebody else, right? It's like if you're hard to work with, they're not going to work with you.
Yeah, it's just how it goes, unfortunately. And he hasn't really been in too many films that's just been worth a damn.
Yeah, I'm looking at his filmography. It's like, yeah, the last movie he was in was Deadpool and Wolverine, and that was just a cameo, right? And then before that, you got The Ministry of Vengeance and Manly Warfare. You got Argyle. You got Flash. Flash, he was really just a cameo as well. It just says uncredited cameo, so his face might not have been in Flash. I don't really remember, actually.
Yeah. He wasn't in Flash. He wasn't in Flash at all. Now, me personally, I hope that he can get back on track. I do like him. I wish he could show a little bit more personality, because he does not seem. I hate to say this, like his personality does not rub off very well at all, because he seems very bored, a very bored person. You know, so. But that was it from the James Gunn, Rolling Stone. He's had some more stuff in there, but it's like pretty much the same stuff we already talked about. You know, the success for Superman and stuff like that. I can say, man, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna be a big summer. You know, we got 3 big movies coming out. One of them I wanted to ask you last week. Out of the next 3 movies, forget the F1 and 28 years later. Which one of these films, Jurassic World, Superman, and Fantastic Four, which one of these films is going to make a billion?
I mean, I think it's Superman. I think Superman's getting it. Huh? I think so, because it's a fresh start with something new. I mean, it's old, but it's also still new. The trailers are great. The marketing's been great. Everything around it seems really good. So I'm pretty sure that's going to hit the billion mark. Fantastic Four is a close second, because Fantastic Four also looks really good, but also, again, they're coming in at a low point in Marvel's timeline. So It's hard to say with that one, right? It's you have the curiosity there of like, all right, how's this going to feed into Doomsday? But then you also have the people who are just fatigued with Marvel, and they're like, do I even care how this feeds into Doomsday? Do I even care about Doomsday? Because Doomsday sounds really confusing with like what the cast is going, like who's all casted in it, who are they playing? You know, are they the same characters from these other films? Like what? I don't know. It's a lot going on, right? Robert Downey Jr. is there. It's like, well, I don't know. Jurassic World, this is the 9th film. We've seen the originals and we've seen the new ones, but it's like, does Jurassic World really bring anything new to the table outside of the fact that they're using the mutant dinosaurs, which is from the books, and I do appreciate that. That's from the books with the mutant dinosaurs, but it's like, is that enough to drive people back into seeing, oh, they're going back to the island. It's another island, like dinosaur movie. You know what I mean?
You're right.
That's my list is Superman, Fantastic Four, Jurassic World.
But I will say, them damn dinosaurs always crack a billion for some reason. I don't know how they do it. They find some pocket change up under the sofa every single time. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah,
I don't know how they do it.
Big dumb monster movie. That's all. That's all it is. Big dumb monster movie makes money.
Even their worst movies, they find pocket change up under the bed. Yeah. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah. Big dumb monster movies, man. They do it. They make it.
So I want to see Superman make a billion, but I won't be surprised if it's Jurassic World make another billion again. It's just, I don't understand it.
Yeah. It's really hard to say because, again, they're all coming out in the same month, but also, you know, I mean, do people have enough spare income to be able to go to all three of these movies, right? Because you have to factor that in. We got 3 big blockbuster movies coming out in the same month. All right. The average person goes to see maybe a movie a month. I'd say maybe two. I would say once a month you're going to the movies, right? On average. It's a new month. You got your new money for the month or whatever. You got your budget and you're like, all right, I got to go see a movie this month. Am I seeing Jurassic World? Am I seeing Superman? Am I seeing Fantastic Four? Not for nothing, James, but all these movies have had properties out over the past few years, right? So it's like, it's not even originality that would win over anybody. So it's more or less like, what sequel or reboot do I want to see more?
And that's also too as well. It's like you're talking about one person. What about the family that has like 4 kids?
Exactly. This is the once a month I take my family to the movies. I'm going to spend $150 on the concessions alone. Am I taking them to see the dinosaur movie? Am I taking them to see the Superman movie or Fantastic Four? Oh. Then you factor in age groups of your kids. If you got younger kids, you might not take them to see Jurassic World. You might take them to see Superman. Or if you got a little bit older kids, you might take them to Jurassic World, or you might take them to Fantastic Four because they're caught up on like the MCU. There's a billion different ways you can break this down. So it's hard to say. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting like box office brawl in July. Because each one of these movies is going to have like a 2-week theatrical run before the next movie comes out.
Oh yeah, no, you're 100% right. Because Jurassic World come out July 2nd.
Yeah,
and then Superman comes out July 11th.
Right.
And then Fantastic Four comes out July 18th, 2 weeks after that. So
they're all like a week and a half at most away from each other.
Yep.
That's not a lot of time to make a bunch of money.
And not to mention, you know, you got split time. Who's going to be in IMAX? Who's not going to be in IMAX? Yeah.
The IMAX is going to be tough. Like, yeah, screen time alone is going to be like such a fight. Nowadays, how they judge movies, right? If it doesn't make a bunch of money in that first weekend, they're already pulling it out of like however many theaters, you know?
Oh, no, you're right. Mm-hmm.
Financially, logistically, it's going to be very interesting what happens.
Yeah. You're 100% right. I just wanted to ask you, ask a question about that because I'm very, very curious because it's a very odd summer. This is a very odd summer, you know, because we never had 3 major blockbuster summer films
franchises
come out in 1 month.
Well, what's funny is like Jurassic World's probably the most original out of the 2, right? Because Jurassic World is kind of a new, it's a newish story. They're going back to the island, but it's still like new premise, new characters, that sort of thing. Whereas Superman and Fantastic Four, it's like, well, we've seen Superman, we've seen a Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is a little bit more original because it's set in a different world. Like they they're already Fantastic Four. Like, we don't really, like, there's no other superheroes around. Like, we don't really know. There's a mystery to it. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, you're 100% right.
Yeah. Superman is just kind of like, all right, well, it's Superman. He's going to be doing Superman stuff. And you got Guy Gardner around. All right, cool. You got Crypto. All right, cool. So it's hard to say. It really is. But that's officially it. That's all I got. I am out of things.
Yep, that's it.
Cool. Well, hey, if you wanna join us in the conversation, you can email us at onthegopod2023@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about the future of the DCU. If you want to contact us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, you can find us at On The Go with Jacob and James. You can also find us individually at jacobdantone.audio for myself, and you can find James at
James9794.
Yep. And without further ado, I'm on the go, James is on the go, and we are all on the go.